Breaking news, House lawmakers have just voted to end the government shutdown. Let's bring in CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small live for us right there on Capitol Hill. Taurean, what can you tell us?
Yeah, it was a largely party line vote here that saw this legislation pass the finish line and head on its way to the president's desk for his signature for this to be signed into law. One notable thing here is that we saw two Republican defectors in Representative Stubbe of Florida and Thomas Massie of Kentucky. 5 Democrats joined Republicans in getting this across the finish line. Undoubtedly, this will be conversation among that conference, considering the rest of the Democratic Party avoided endorsing this continuing resolution. Now that it is out of the House, it heads to the president's desk, where he's expected to sign it within the next hour or so, and then the government will be essentially reopened. What this means, though, Liz, is that lawmakers will have now until January 30th to bang out a full appropriations bill to fund the government well into next year, to avoid the situation that we saw happen in March with that continuing resolution. They decided to expand this one well past the November 21st deadline that was originally set, and now this gives them a little bit of wiggle room to negotiate some things, including health care subsidies that are set to expire at the end of the year before full appropriations go forward, Liz.
That's right. That vote on the Obamacare subsidies, that vote is expected to happen in December. That was promised by the GOP. What goes into that?
Well, this is Senate Republicans saying they're willing to make good on a deal that they brokered with rank and file Democrats as part of this contingency of centrist Democrats who helped get it across the finish line there. What the leader, John Thune, is promising is a vote in mid-December, but that comes with no guarantee that there will be Republican participation in passing that bill. Even if there's support in the Senate, there's no guarantee that House Speaker Mike Johnson will send it to his floor for a vote. That's where we saw Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader, step up and say that he's looking to do his own version of a discharge petition, get 218 signatures to force a floor vote on expanding those health care subsidies for 3 years. The problem, though, is they're still in the minority, and it's unclear if he can find consensus from Republicans to help get that in his favor.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is expected to speak to reporters any moment now. When that happens, we'll bring it to you live. But Taurean, what's been his stance on this bill in the past couple of days since Monday when the Senate voted to pass this bill? What has been, he's taken a victory lap.
Yeah, taking a victory lap, especially considering the fact that he's spent weeks, really day after day, going after Democrats, laying the blame of the government shutdown solely at their feet, saying that the reason why we're in this situation, the reason why federal workers aren't being paid, the reason why troops haven't been paid, why we're seeing these delays in airports, is because Democrats refuse to pass through what he called a clean continuing resolution, keeping spending levels where they were until they got a full appropriations bill out. On the House floor, right in front of this vote, he had what's called a magic minute where he could, pretty much debate where things stood. He said that he wasn't going to waste any more time, but said again, this is a problem in his mind caused by Democrats. Democrats obviously pushing back and saying they just wanted to include health care as part of this conversation. This wasn't a bipartisan process in their minds, which is why they voted against both continuing resolutions. The vast majority of Democrats voted against both continuing resolutions.
Any update on the timing of releasing the Epstein files, more of the Epstein files? Any timing on that vote?
Right. So we saw with the swearing in of newly elected and now newly sworn in Representative Grijalva from Arizona. She is that 218th signature on a discharge petition that was co-sponsored by the Republican and Thomas Massie from Kentucky and the Democrat Ro Khanna. And Speaker Johnson addressed this to reporters just moments ago, saying that he's not going to wait the procedural 7-day window window for the legislation to be considered. He's going to take it to the floor for a vote next week. So he's pushing forth that timeline, seemingly to placate the growing dissension that he has from not just Democrats, but folks within their own party looking to get what they're calling transparency, even though he's maintained that through the Oversight Committee, there's been release after release of new information regarding that case.
Taurean Small, thank you so much, live for us on Capitol Hill. Once again, breaking news, the House just voted to fund the government and end the 43-day shutdown. We're going to have reaction live from Capitol Hill from House Speaker Mike Johnson. President Donald Trump also expected to sign this bill later on in this hour. Stay with us.